Mr. T. Today we're going to go over snips and shears. So the biggest difference between snips and shears is the leverage point. Shears have a single leverage point. Snips actually have two leverage points. So a smaller tool actually allows us to cut thicker material, a heavier capacity. Shears will have a straight, flat blade. Snips blade actually have a slight curve to them, and they're actually slightly angled. When we use shears, we're going to hold them straighter up and down. When we use snips, we're actually going to hold them to an angle. So to go over the different kind, these are straight shears. These would only be used for copper work, very light copper. These straight shears can be used for material up to 24 gauge capacity. The higher the number, the thinner the material. So even though these look very similar, capacity 24 gauge mild steel, these are bulldog shears. Capacity will be 16 gauge mild steel. When you use bulldog shears, you actually use the table as a leverage point, as a rest. The main thing you don't want to do is wrap your hands around in any way, because we have a pinch point for our fingers here. So we would use the table as a leverage point. So aviation snips, even though they are very much smaller than straight shears, their capacity is actually 20 gauge mild steel. We have three different styles. We have red handle, which are right hand. We have yellow handle, which are straight cut. And we have green handle, which are left hand. Right hand and left hand snips also cut straight. Straight snips only cut straight. The difference being is right hand go in your right hand, left go in your left. When we use them, if we're using right hand shears, they'll actually cut arcs and circles going to the left. Left hand will cut arcs and circles going to the right. But again, they'll also cut straight. So to demonstrate, again, using the tools, I'm going to put on my safety glasses. I'm also going to put on my work gloves to prevent any sharp edges from cutting my hands and fingers. So straight snips, unlock. If we had a line we're cutting to, again, slight angle to the right, and I'm going to cut. Close about 3/4 of the way through the blade and cut. You don't want to go all the way to the end. One, it makes dents, and the other thing, it'll create what's called fish hooks. What that is there's a spot on the material that's quite not cut evenly, and there'll be a very sharp edge on the bottom. So when we cut, we want to cut about 2/3 to 3/4 of the way down the blade, open, and put the blade back in so we could finish our cut. So right hand aviation snips, again, go in our right hand, hold them at a slight angle to the right. They will also cut straight. But what they're really designed for is cutting arcs and circles. So if we had this arc or circle to cut, starting from the outside, and again, not closing completely, I'm only going to close about 3/4 of the way, and I can cut an arc or a circle going from right to left. Left hand snips, just like they say, go in your left hand. I'm going to hold them in a slight angle to the left. And again, as I cut, I'm not closing all the way. I'm only closing about 2/3 to 3/4 of the way. Open up slightly again, and I can cut an arc or circle to the right. So aviation snips, again, green handle, left hand. Red handle, right hand. Yellow handle, straight aviation snips. Straight shears, bulldog shears. So those are our basic hand-operated cutting tools.